Okay. The paper is a lie, Sandra. The cake is a lie! The cake is a lie! Nein, eigentlich das Paper, aber egal.
Du musst mir halt dann sagen, welchen Stoff du willst, ne?
Tiki kommt. Sandra. Tiki kommt und macht die Tür ganz zu, also bis zum Ding-Anschlag. Someone is trying to frame me. Du bist dumm, Tiki. Me? You said me, right? Jumpy's eyes narrowed and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply, his eyes flicked off of Jumpy to anything else. Wouldn't that mean that you're admitting you're Hangu, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical? Or am I mistaken? It was a thought as a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and as he realized what he'd done, his eyes went wide. Very well, I'll admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hangu. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see? First of all, Ace stared as he tried desperately to work himself to a more tenable position. Jumpy, you're claiming I did all this by myself. Think that over, alright? How could I have killed Snake all by myself? Not Snake, it was Guy X. I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man to the door for you, right? Yeah, maybe. Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X. No, you could have. What? Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Triple fixed him with a level stare. The trap was about to close. Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then I took this. Jumpy put his hand into his pocket. No, you couldn't have! Ace's right hand moved. Jumpy smiled. I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. You wanna tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X and a 9th man bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3. That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket. Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped halfway to his pocket. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth twitching like a dying fish. If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead, tell me. I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, 7? Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. 7 cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Yeah. Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with sound that scarcely belonged there. Then it stopped. His arms came down, his head dropped to look straight ahead at Jumpy. Oh, sieht böse aus. His face was flat and cold, devoid of any emotion. Well done, Jumpy. As you so correctly deduced, I have the number 9 bracelet. I retrieved it while we were searching for the missing hardware for the red. I left the room I was supposed to search and headed to the first-class cabin on B deck. His voice showed no emotion. Töte dich. Hasse dich. No signs of remorse or interest. It was almost bored. I thought he were reciting an especially dull corporate letter. My purpose was to obtain the number 9 bracelet. 9 is a potent all in the nonary game. Adding 9 to any set of numbers won't alter the digital root. As you can see, 9 is a very useful number here. With it, one can go anywhere with anyone, so I made for the first-class cabin to obtain it. Mein Mund ist fuselig. Ace successfully acquired the number 9 bracelet. He also found an unexpected bonus, the knife the 9th man had been holding. He slipped both of them into his chest pocket and left as quickly as he'd come. He walked down the stairs and Er musste again unterschlucken. And headed back to where he was supposed to be. That was when he met Guy X and mistook him for Snake. Snake was on his way to the large hospital room and had no one noticed Ace behind him. Ace made sure it stayed that way. He fought the man wearing Snake's clothes at the door 3. When the man stopped, he walked up behind him quietly and called out, "Snake!" The man turned to look at Ace. He said nothing. No words came out of his half-open mouth. He seemed dazed somehow, almost like a man half asleep. Perhaps he had been drugged. It didn't matter to Ace. Ace was certain the man was Snake. He knew Snake had been a part of the nonary game 9 years before. Snake hadn't recognized Ace immediately, but he was blind. That much made sense. Why, then, hadn't Snake said anything to him? Surely he hadn't forgotten what had happened to him in the nonary game, but not once had he attempted to confront Ace. Perhaps his lack of sight had prevented him from recognizing Ace, or perhaps Snake had conspired with Zero to deceive Ace. In either event, he was a threat, and it was better to deal with him sooner rather than later. Ace's mind was made up. He moved. He held the number 9 bracelet over the red. He left his own bracelet in front of the red and finally grabbed Snake's arm and shoved his hand against the scanner panel. The door opened. Ace threw the man through it. 9 seconds later, the door shut. "81 seconds passed. The man inside the door passed away. After that, I returned to my post as thought nothing had happened. After conducting my own search, I returned to the large hospital when the 1 a.m. bell rang. His eyes were cold and his cheeks were hollow and pallid. When he spoke, only his lips and tongue moved. The rest of his face was eerily still. Jumper glared at Ace. He took a deep breath and thought about the next question he had to ask. He didn't want to. He knew what the answer would be. He just didn't want to hear it. Jumper swallowed and spoke. "Ace, did you kill Clover?" "Yes." "Why? Why did you kill her?" "She was Snake's sister. It was possible he had told her something dangerous. Additionally, she had gone through door 1. It seems likely she might have found it." "Found what?" "Why don't you go through door 1 yourself? Perhaps it's hidden somewhere." Someone Lotus interrupted. "Yeah, but Lotus and I went through door 1 too. We didn't see anything suspicious." "Yes, I thought as much after I heard you report at the central stairs. I doubt the two of you could find it." "But perhaps Clover was different. Perhaps she had found it. I was therefore desperate to find her, and at last I did, in the first-class cabin." I spoke very calmly. "Did you see it?" "See what?" "Don't act as if you don't understand. You were in the captain's quarters, weren't you?" "Huh? What are you talking about?" Very well. By the way, what are you doing here, Clover?" "What? Nothing." "There's blood on your shoes. It looks fresh. Did you go take a look at the 9th man's corpse?" "I see. Your silence suggests that you noticed. You saw something, didn't you? You saw that his bracelet was gone." Clover ran. She made for the exit, but Ace stood in the way. "You aren't going anywhere." He caught her by the collar as she passed and threw her into the floor hard. She leapt back up and darted past him into the hallway. Ace followed at a run. He was faster. That was how I killed Clover. His face hadn't changed, and if he felt guilt or remorse or anything one might feel after taking the life of another human being, it didn't show. "You son of a bitch!" Seven's whole body trembled with rage, and his voice rumbled with hate. Sandra's eyes were bloodthirsty, and Lotus and June's face were distorted by anger and hatred. Ace looked at them and smiled. It was a cold, cruel thing with no humor in it. He shook his head and sighed. "I admit it, I've lost. I have lost completely and utterly. In this knife ending bringt Ace dich und du fällst ins Wasser. But don't misunderstand, Junpei, I didn't lose to you. I lost to Zero, not you. I'm rather disgusted with myself for falling into such a simple trap. And it was a trap, make no mistake. I was trapped and manipulated by Zero. The man I killed in the shower room. If he wasn't Snake, then I have no idea who he was. But he was wearing Snake's clothes, and it was no coincidence. He had also been injected with something that reduced his cognition or prevented him from identifying himself or resisting me. And we can't forget the components that were removed from the rats before I arrived. I have no doubt that Zero planned all of this. Zero made sure I would kill that man. It follows, of course, that Zero knew everything I would do. That I would try to take the number 9 bracelet. That I would try to kill Snake. Everything. Suddenly Jumper remembered the paper he found in the safe. He remembered the last words Zero had written on it. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. Zero. And he remembered other words he heard from Clover. I think Zero is one of us. One by one, Jumper looked at the... Tiki, bist du raus? Muss aber warten, bis ich weiter aufgenommen habe. Jumper looked at the 5 people standing in front of him. Ace. Center. June. 7. Lotus. Zero is one of us. No, Jumper paused. There was one more person. Snake. It was clear now that the man who died in the shower room was not Snake. That meant that Snake was almost certainly still alive. Perhaps Snake was Zero. Perhaps Snake had made Guy X free his clothes so that he would appear to be dead. Where was Snake now? Perhaps he was somewhere laughing at them. If he was Zero, surely he had lied about many other things. Was he watching them? Er ist blind, er kann sie nicht beobachten. Oh nein, Snake ist nicht Zero. Komm her, Tiggy! Well, I believe I finished with my confession. Why don't we get moving? Kurz Moment, ich lasse Tiggy kurz aus dem Ding raus. Ja, lass sie raus. Meine Güte. Ujala. He sounded as if he'd just finished doing nothing more exciting than describing the weather. For Sam, that was the last straw. What the hell is this shit? You aren't going anywhere, you son of a bitch. We're gonna leave your ass here to rot. Why? Because I killed Clover? That's ridiculous. Why are you so upset that I killed a little bitch? She was nothing to you. A stranger you only met a few hours ago, am I wrong? You bastard! Sam roared and lifted a fist that would likely have shattered Ace's jaw, but someone else was faster. It was Lotus. She stepped toward Ace, raised a fist of her own, and drove it straight into his nose. Ooh, Nase gebrochen, huh? You've got some fire, don't you? Den kümmert das nicht. I confess I'd rather like a tough woman. He sniffed and whipped a small trickle of blood from his nose with a raised eyebrow. Well, maybe you'd like another one then. Before that, let me give you one of my own. Huh? Lotus scarcely had time to blink. Ace snagged his arms around her and pulled Lotus back up against him. In the same motion, he reached into his coat pocket. It was a gun. Ordinary game. The revolver! Almost lazily, he tilted the point at Lotus' head. If any of you so much as blink, I won't hesitate to pull the trigger. I've already killed 2, not 3 people. Don't think I'm not ready to make it 4. 3 people? What do you mean? Very well. Let me take this opportunity to illuminate you. The person who killed the 9th man was me. Although that's supposed to be more accurate, I encouraged him to get himself killed. While we were examining the main staircase, he came to me and told me his name. I recognized it at once. So I gave him a little push, just a little white lie. It seemed the settings for the dead were altered. Now it only requires a single person to deactivate the detonator in the bracelet. Investigate what's beyond door 5. We'll meet again later. Okay, have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then. Shit, why isn't it stopping? God damn it, you lied. Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here! Oh my god, there's no time left! Listen! I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him! Yeah. I had 4 reasons for killing him. 1. As I said before the non-ray game, the number 9 bracelet is of utmost importance. If I had allowed him to keep such a useful tool, he or it would have become a threat to me. I actually decided that he should be eliminated early on. 2. I wanted the number 9 bracelet. If I could manage to obtain it, I would be able to manipulate the game as I saw fit. I would be only able to acquire the bracelet unless its owner was dead. 3rd, even setting aside his number, he would have been nothing but trouble for me. He was aware of my past. He knew what happened here 9 years ago. It was important that I eliminate him before he was able to disseminate this information. 4th, lastly, I wished to conduct a simple test. A test to see if this non-ray game was serious or a poor attempt at a joke. I needed to be quite sure. As such, I encouraged him to act against the rules so that I might observe the outcome. Jumper glared at him. I don't get your 3rd motive. What the hell happened 9 years ago? Didn't I say? The non-ray game was played. I planned it out and I conducted the execution. Why? What on earth was it supposed to do? I don't really think I have any obligation to tell you that. Ace smirked. He was trying to provoke them and it was working. I thought Ace had paid very little attention to Lotus after catching her. The gun had never wavered from her temple. She looked quite pale, and when she spoke her voice shook. Hey, what's with this gun? Where did he get this? Why didn't you tell her, Santa? Santa ground his teeth and glared at Ace. On the other side of door 6. We found the gun in the coffin in the cargo room, right? The bastard must grab it when we weren't looking. Indeed I did. It was a pretty serious mistake, you know. Just saying you intended to leave it behind. Ace laughed, showed the reserve snort, and gave Jumpy a singly pitying look. Well, there isn't much time left. I'll be off then. Where are you going? Do I really need to explain? I had assumed it would be obvious. I have the number 9 bracelet, and now I have Lotus. Wasn't there a door with a 9 on it on the room that looked like a church? That's where you're going, isn't it? Ah, how do you know that? Santa told me about it while we were looking for Clover. I see. Well, you are correct. It is my destination, but now I must say goodbye to all of you. And please don't forget my warning. Move and I'll pull the trigger. I don't need her alive to open the door, you know. As he spoke, Ace began backing toward the door, practically dragging Lotus behind him. Jumper Santa and June and Seven stood frozen. Ace had the face of a man gone mad. They had no doubt he would pull the trigger. As had reached the exit, he forced Lotus to open it, then turned and addressed them once more. Goodbye. Then he stepped through the door. Bastard! It felt shut. In the blink of an eye, they were gone. As soon as Ace and Lotus were gone, Jumper and the other leapt for the door in pursuit of Ace. But as Jumper had laid his hand on the doorknob, there was a noise behind him. He looked over his shoulder. Oh, this was the center. June was kneeling on the floor, breathing heavily. Hey, June, what's happened? Are you alright? Santa ran to June and wrapped his arm around her before she could collapse all the way. Jesus, you're burning up! Your fever's back. Are you okay? June's fever had returned again for no apparent reason. Her eyes were watery and her eyelid drooped. Her breath came in dry as shallowed gasps. I'm okay. Really, I'm fine. You should be worrying about Lotus. She was breathing hard now and she could barely summon the strength to talk. Jumper was torn. He couldn't leave June alone in the state she was in. But every moment they waited, Ace was farther away, Lotus' life in his hands. What was Jumpy supposed to do? June's eye drifted to Jumpy. She managed to muster a weak smile. Jumpy, don't worry about me. I just need a little rest. I'll be fine. Don't you remember? I just needed to rest a little bit last time. So please save Lotus. Think about what Ace already done, Jumpy. When he's got what he needs from Lotus, you really think he's gonna let her just walk away? God damn it! You guys go on ahead. As soon as June starts feeling better, we follow you. Go! Jumpy looked at June. She nodded once. She couldn't manage much more. But it was all the confirmation Jumpy needed. His resolve was set. Alright, come on, Seven. We're going after Ace. Hell yeah! Santa, you take good care of June. I'm trusting you. Santa nodded. Jumpy turned before he had to change his mind and started running toward the door.